Welcome to yet another exciting podcast with your coach favorite, Coach Carl. Today we are going to be discussing a topic that I think we all need to discuss in these times that we are in. I know life may be difficult. In life is difficult as it is. We need to discuss, or we need to have difficult conversations. At least these difficult conversations that we have in our lives are very important because it helps us to navigate through the terrains that we are in, and it helps us to mold ourselves to become the best version of ourselves. And you might be wondering, what is this topic? So today our topic for today is evaluating what is working and celebrating small achievements. Life can be pretty complicated sometimes, and you need to be asking yourself that, are you happy with yourself and your life? This is a question that one should ask themselves regularly. It is not always easy, but it's worth evaluating and seeing where you can make some changes. I believe today you have certain areas that if you look at them, you are going to say to yourself, I really need to improve on this area. I really need to improve on these aspects. And looking from where you are coming from to where you are going, certainly there might be gaps that need filling. There might be gaps that need attention, that need you to work it out. And I believe that you cannot always be, if you want to be a successful person, you cannot always be staying or being in your comfort zone, but you need to stay out of your comfort zone to realize the greater things that lies within you. If you are not stretched beyond your capacity, you cannot believe that some things are really achievable. But once you stretch that output or that input within you to produce that output to the world, and you can definitely say, oh, I didn't know that I was capable of this. But I am thankful and grateful that this time or this challenge happened, because if it wasn't for that challenge, I wouldn't have recognized this excellence that is within me. So as you are evaluating what is working or not, you need to ask yourself, are you living your dream or someone else? Are you still happy with what you have or what you are doing? Are you happy with what you have achieved, or you strive to do more? So you may be asking yourself, how do I then benchmark myself? How do I then score some brownie points to say, yes, this is working for me, and I am achieving, or I am celebrating rather, my small achievements. So the first point that we want to discuss, or we want to do well on, is your goals. What goals did you set at the start of the year or at the beginning of the year? Looking down like 9 months ago, now have you achieved those goals? And have you taken certain steps, or have you written certain steps that I should have done this and this? If you are journaling, I'm sure you now have a track record or something that you can look onto and say, yes, I have achieved those goals. If I have not achieved those goals, then it certainly means that I do need to work on this. And then you may actually need to look at the relationships that you have created at the start of the year, and looking at those relationships. Are those relationships beneficial to you, or are they relationships that are doing more harm than good? Because sometimes we take this emotional baggage within ourselves. Just because someone is influential, just because someone is known within spaces, doesn't mean they are doing a great thing in your life. But you need to look at yourself and say, yes, I have this person in my life. Are they contributing to my mental sanity? Are they improving how I look at things. If they are not really improving or taking you a step further, that actually means you have to let them go, in as much as it might hurt. But I think it's good for your mental health, it's good for your mental sanity. And also, how you evaluate yourself, to look at things that are within your life to say, is this working or not? You have to look at your capacity of handling failures and problems. Yes, sometimes things might not go our way, things might not really move within the frame that we want them to move. So how have you built resilience? Have you built a coping mechanism, in the sense that whatever you have or whatever it is that you want to achieve at the end of the day, if it doesn't come to pass, or if it doesn't come to fruition, what are the steps that you are going to take, so that at least you move in a positive direction? Because at some point, I believe challenges may affect us in a great way. But if we have steps, if we have things, or if we have like guidelines that we have to navigate through those terrains, or to navigate through those challenges, it might mean that we are going to be overcomers. I want you to look at the aspect of, if you had set a vision board for yourself, if you had set goals for yourself, you know that in the event that my goal A, or my goal B, or my goal C, or my goal D doesn't work, these are the things that I can tailor make, or that I can do in order to gravitate towards that goal and dream and that I have. And also, you might evaluate yourself in terms of what is working or what is not, in terms of how you treat others, in terms of your spirituality, in terms of your health. Are you okay? Yes, we have been asked so many times, are you okay? And many times we respond, yes, I'm fine, I'm doing okay, right? But deep down, are you really okay? Because you need to ask yourself that if you are not okay, there are certain things that you must do. You must also visit a counselor, you must visit a therapist, you must see a doctor at some point, so that they can assess your health score, if you are healthy. And I also need you to look at how we are going to link this in terms of like what is working and celebrating your small achievements. When you have looked at all those things, you actually need to say, what are some of the small steps that I'm making? And those small steps, of course, they are going to lead you to small wins, small achievements. Are you in turn celebrating these small wins? At some point, you need to celebrate yourself. You cannot wait for other people to celebrate you when you cannot say, or when you cannot celebrate yourself firsthand. If you appreciate yourself, if you appreciate the person that you are, it actually means that you are going to give other people room to celebrate you, because they would have seen that positive energy to say, this person loves who they are, and they have created that positive energy within themselves, within their environment, that if no one celebrates me, I'm going to celebrate myself. So I want to quote Dr. Temple Grandin, an American scientist, author, and advocate. In his book, The Autistic Brain, Thinking Across the Spectrum, and I quote, the author says, I celebrate each accomplishment, no matter how insignificant it might appear to others. Sometimes we need people to affirm and validate what we have done. Of course, there's nothing wrong with other people validating what we have done, but we need to validate ourselves first, as I was saying before. So if you validate yourself, it actually means that you are always going to be positive. You are always going to be filled with a lot of energy to tackle many tasks. So why am I saying this? Because if you celebrate yourself, it means it's going to build resilience, and it's going to make you cope with any setbacks that might be thrown at you, whether it's at work, whether it's life, whether it's family. So it gives you that competitive edge in order to cope with setbacks. And also, someone says that small wins pave a path to success. So you actually need to look at it and say, yes, in as much as I don't have a car right now, at least I am walking. Whether I may not have the job that I want, but at least I'm not unemployed. Whether if it means that I'm renting or I'm lodging somewhere, I'm not on the streets. So you need to celebrate when you wake up, when you make your bed. Celebrate those small things, because it is in those small things that you are going to gravitate towards the bigger steps that you are aiming for. So yes, you might be wondering why I'm discussing this today. I believe that there are people out there that are saying I have given up on life simply because they are not seeing the outcome of what they are working so much hard for, and they are putting in the work, and they are saying to themselves, I don't see where this is going. But I need to tell you today that these small steps matter. And if you introspect on your life or on anything that you are doing, it actually means it's going to give you room to say, this is the areas that I need to work on. And I want to impart this knowledge to you, whether or not your life is seemingly in a dark position, in a dark state, and you're saying to yourself, I cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel. I want to tell you that it is possible. You are going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's just a matter of time. If you keep on pressing, if you keep on pushing, those small steps are going to lead you to where you want to be, and you inspire other people. At some point, why is it that we don't get what we want instantly? Sometimes there are lessons within those small steps, so that when you get to that bigger outcome, you have the capacity to manage that fame, that commitment. So don't take each step for granted, each small step for granted. Take it as a stepping stone, because in those small stepping stones, you are going to unearth a lot of diamonds within it. So this is it, and I'm hoping that next time we'll have a good time together. So this is Accelerate